So here's some movie news that just came out of nowhere. Yeah, as you can see from the title, a Wil E Coyote movie has been announced. Yeah. Now this has been in apparently development for a while, but now it looks like it has its like they have a director, or at least a writer, in some capacity. And yeah, I didn't have any idea that this was actually happening. That a Wil E solo film has begun. And you know what that means? I can only imagine the after-credit scene where Bugs Bunny comes out of nowhere and says, "I want to talk to you about the Looney Tunes initiative." That's right, the LTCU has begun. The Looney Tunes Cinematic Universe has begun. Because the DCEU films are kind of struggling. Might as well have a Looney Tunes Cinematic Universe. And honestly, that kind of works, but I'm joking. I'm joking, of course. Anyway, so a Wil E Coyote standalone film. Yeah. Now, a lot of people are wondering right now, really? What are you going to do? Have him chase Roadrunner for the entire film? That only works in, like, short bursts. And that's the thing. It works in short bursts. But the premise of this film really got me intrigued. The premise in question is that Wil E has had enough of Acme shit and going after the Acme Corporation. The way it's being pitched is that it's a cartoon John Wick without the extreme violence. Just regular cartoon violence. That's the thing, is that it's Wil E Coyote going after the people who have screwed him for so many years. So, I like this. I like that premise, is that... And this is actually kind of funny, because on Geeky Gentleman over on Sid Part 2's channel, we do character discussions, and we talked about, one of our character discussions was about Wil E Coyote, and we talked about, wouldn't it be great if there was like a story of him going after, having enough of the Acme Corporation, and just getting tired of them and going after them? It's kind of funny that this got announced a few months later. And the other idea was that it was Daffy who, like, as a typical cartoon, it's Daffy who's the one who's been selling him all the Acme Corporation stuff. So yeah, that's the thing, is that, I like this premise, because again, don't get me wrong, the formula of Wil E Coyote and Roadrunner is timeless. It's like Tom and Jerry. But the problem is that if you try to stretch it out too long, people are going to get bored. What works best in those cartoons is that it works on like a minimum of like 6 to 8 minutes. That's the bare minimum for those cartoons, and how well they work. You know, those gags you can't do an entire film of just those gags. It'd be a little tiresome. So, to have Wil E in that his film is going to be about him getting his revenge on the Acme Corporation, the company that has essentially been screwing him over for years, is a really good idea. I think it's a really cool idea, and you could actually do a lot with it. Because Wil E, while he does proclaim to be a super genius, can kind of screw up in his own right. So the big question is, so here's a couple questions, is that, one, is Roadrunner going to be in this film? That's the other thing, is that, is Roadrunner going to be part of this film in any capacity? I mean, sure, he's going to be chasing him around, but is Roadrunner going to be an integral part to this Wil E Coyote animated film? Is he going to play a part, or is he just going to be standing around and like, oh, well, I guess this is Wil E's movie, bye. So, that's the thing I'm curious about, is that, I believe that Roadrunner might be in the film. I would hope that, you need Roadrunner to be part of this film as much as, because while Wil E can work on his own, because we've obviously seen him against Bugs Bunny at times, to have him not, to have him without Roadrunner feels a little weird, especially because he's such an integral part of that character. So, I would imagine he's going to be part of this film in some capacity, I just want to know how much. And here comes my other query. Is Wil E going to talk? Now, we have seen Wil E talk in the past, preferably when he's, going against Bugs. But yeah, the other thing is that Wil E doesn't really talk. Although, to be fair, he does talk in some of the Roadrunner cartoons. He's talked in one or two of those. But yeah, now, I don't think that they will keep that character silent the whole time. Like, they won't make him like a Charlie Chaplin, as he was pitched to be as like an animated Charlie Chaplin in a way. I think he is going to talk because, yeah, I don't think today's audience is going to root for a silent character. I don't think they're going to be rooting for a silent character, so they're probably going to get somebody to voice him. The question is who? Personally, I kind of thought about it a little bit, and I kind of came to the conclusion if you were going to give him a voice actor for the character, who would you get to voice Wil E? Now, Wil E always carries himself as this big, arrogant, has this major superiority complex and loves to insult people. Just say how smart he is. Well, the person I thought who could be the best voice for Wil E would be Hugh Laurie, House. I think he would be just a great voice cast pick for Wil E. Because, again, for playing House so long, he's played that big, arrogant kind of role. I think Hugh Laurie would be a really cool pick for Wil E. And just imagine him going, I am Wil E Coyote. Super genius. So yeah, again, that's just my fan cast though. Because again, while I wouldn't mind that Wil E didn't talk throughout the film, this is going to be his film, and people aren't going to go for a silent character. So it would stand to reason that they're probably going to make him talk. So might as well give him someone who can fit that voice. And for me, I think personally, that person would be Hugh Laurie. But if anyone has a different voice in mind, just let me know in the comments below. Always curious to know what you guys have to say about this stuff, as always. Anyway, so where was I going with this? So yeah, that's the thing, is that also another thing is that how violent are you willing to make this movie? This is probably going to be PG, but how far are you going to take that PG rating? Because, yeah, some of those Wil E Coyote cartoons are really violent. It's usually him getting beaten up, but yeah, that cartoon violence, I hope it doesn't get turned down. If anything, you're going to be dealing with possibly CGI, so if anything, it should be ramped up a little bit. It should be turned up a little more. So, go all out. And plus, Wil E's kind of a villain, so it doesn't matter if he gets hurt. And that's the other thing, is that the first big Looney Tunes movie we've had in years is going to be centered around a villain, technically speaking. It's good, and I think that's really cool that rather than a solo Bugs Bunny movie or Daffy Duck movie, we're doing a film about a character who has a superiority complex and and tries to eat the protagonist on a daily basis. That's really funny to me. So I'm really cool with this. I think this could be really cool. And again, him going after the Acme Corporation, that's really fun. That's a really fun idea and a very logical idea. Having him go after the company, and could you imagine just all the shenanigans Wil E could get into when he goes to that factory, to the Acme Corporation factory? Just imagine all of that, like the dun 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 dun. Well, this montage of that music playing while he's getting horribly mangled in like a conveyor belt or some shit. So yeah, I'm all on board with this film. I'm totally 100% on board with this film. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Wil E Coyote getting his own film? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? And who would you get to voice Wil E? And also, what other Looney Tunes characters would you want to see in here? Or do you want to see it just be Wil E and possibly just Roadrunner? Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.